Suddenly the film industry became a villain. How does the industry become a villain in all of this? Yeah, when the same industry has given a platform to Sushant, God bless his soul, he's a wonderful actor, great guy, but he was a complete outsider, no? So that same industry also accepted him with open arms. Yeah. Gave him the fame, the recognition, the success, the money. With Sanju and me, it's not just a professional relationship. Yeah, I mean, Sanju is somebody I have known since 1988, 89. Yeah. I did my first film and I was all of 22 years old, but I did it because he supported me. Yes, I was very upset about it because, uh, there is not a single point that anybody can say, yaar, is wajah se. मैंने गलत क्या किया? There was no reasoning given to that. So there were people involved who probably were not too happy, with my success or whatever. Also, only in one film, which was Shootout at Wadala, is where we had two very hot scenes and we had profanity. And that is something till today I regret. It should not have been there. In any case, I don't really take a political stand, in this day and age, because when you have a lot to lose, then you shut your mouth. It's as simple as that. So mine is simple. I am still making movies. I want to continue making my movies. I want the movies to get the widest possible release without any hindrances or problems. I'm also a family man. I have my children. I have my wife. We love to travel. We like to live the good. I like to provide the good life to my family. So why would I take any unnecessary tension, boss?
Hello everyone, I'm Gujrani and welcome to Speak Easy. I'll be chatting with a very, very interesting and talented director. I'm talking about someone who's made you realize how the world of crime, thriller, and gangsters can be so interesting. I'm talking about, of course, Sanjay Gupta.
Firstly, thank you for that introduction. It was lovely. Even me, it's not the only genre that I work with. So, for example, in 2013, I released Wadala, which was in the gangster space. But it was followed by Jazba, followed by Kabul, and now I'm back in that space. So, yeah, I take my time over there. But the whole point is this, that it's a genre. Crime as a genre is what I love to read, what I love to watch, the shows that I consume, the movies I watch, international, English, Indian. That's what fascinates me. It's what I enjoy, and it's what I enjoy making. It's the stories that I enjoy telling. And the whole point is that yes, with every time that you are revisiting that genre, you are faced with your own challenge, that how will I better the last one? That's most important. Otherwise, it's all style and it's no good.
Post Satya, everything that RGV did got compared to Satya, right? Like, okay, it's good, but it's not, whatever. And of course, he's had a different journey, and people still think of him and wanting him to do, like, make a Satya or a company or something. That is what they want him to do. Right. And whenever he's tried anything else, for whatever reason, maybe it's not a good film, maybe according to him it hasn't worked. How do you know that with times you're telling stories like that, but you still stay relevant and you don't fade away?
If you see, even from the 90s, when I started, mid-90s, okay, there aren't many directors around who were working then. So firstly, directors in our business come with a short shelf life. I don't know why that is. Unlike the West. I mean, today, Clint Eastwood he's still, that's an exception, but yeah, he's 87 and still making movies, or Ridley Scott is 80 plus and doing tremendous work. Yeah. So that is how it should be. Because the more time you have spent, you have matured, that much more you read, that much more you watched, that much more you've experienced, you've traveled. And then all of that obviously will come back into your movies. The problem is when filmmakers stop doing that. Balls, we don't know anything. You're constantly. So, for example, even like one of my favorite TV shows is Peaky Blinders. Okay, so Peaky Blinders, you see the first season and see the sixth season. Look at the range. Look at how it's grown. For example, in Mumbai Saga, my DOP is a debutant. It's his first film. And I don't remember any other established filmmaker giving a break to a young, kid as the cameraman of the film. But I love doing it. He's very talented, and he can learn from my experience. But I've learned from his enthusiasm. He's kept me going. He's kept me younger. it's that I work with Anbu and Arif, my action directors, or Priya Sahas, my production designer. I mean, these are at the same time I'm working with my earlier contemporaries like a Rasul Pukuti, who always has been designing my sound right from Musafir. So it's that. So it's a mix of both, and the fact that you're not going to sit back on any of your past laurels. That is the key thing for me. That is always a takeoff. Like Kante was a takeoff. Atish was a takeoff. It's what I'm going to do next.
Yeah.
Where do I go from there is the whole point.
Are you open to the idea of OTT? I know you've answered things about getting back to screen, but I want to know.
I don't come from that school of thought, but I'm not against it, nor am I for it. It's as simple as that. It's another means of entertainment for me. I'm happy about that. I'm consuming stuff which I would not be ordinarily getting. I'm very, very happy about OTT coming to India because a massive section of my industry, which would otherwise be out of work,
I agree,
has gotten work. There are a lot of truly deserving actors that were not getting the kind of work they deserve are now booked for 2 years, back-to-back OTT material and this and that. So that's wonderful. And it's great. But I am not one who's craving to do the, to create shows and stuff like that. Again, where I'm coming from is very simple. Is a lot of people ask me that, people's tastes have changed because they have consumed crime on OTT. So whether it is a Mirzapur or a Sacred Games or a Patal Lok and this and that, so how do you think they will be accepting of a film? And I just, of crime on film. So I counter that question with a question. And my question is that, do you see anything cinematic in those shows? Do you see anything that you feel, yaar, ye to mujhe bade parde pe dekhna hai? Wo nahi hai. The shows are created, they are manufactured, directed for that experience. It's a single one-on-one. It's not community viewing. It's not even family viewing. So that's different. And what I'm creating, as is evident even from my trailer or my songs, is कि boss ये तो पर्दे पे देखने का, ये big screen पे देखना ये वो मजा है. And that is something I know to do. That is my forte. Why will I stop doing that as long as I get to do it? When I don't have that to do, maybe then I look at this because ultimately I need to do something.
Movies like this have been obsessed with numbers and people have only harbored about numbers in the past. So have you given yourself the realistic view that it's okay if you don't get the big ones?
Yeah, let me answer that question for you. First and foremost, none of my producers can say they lost money on it. Whether the film is no, I'm just getting to something. So number one is that. So when I make a film, I make it in a certain budget, keeping in mind the revenue that is coming, right? And producer को table पे 2 पैसा बने, मेरे को 2 पैसा बने, 10 पैसा नहीं चाहिए, 2 पैसा बने, मतलब loss नहीं हो. Number one.
Fair enough.
Number two, then the film is a safe proposal. It has been made and it comes to the screen. When it comes to the screen, nobody can guarantee what its fate will be. But I have done my best and have delivered that product. If it works and people like it, that is the icing on the cake, and we make more money. Otherwise, we don't make more money. It's as simple as that. So I have never ever obsessed with the opening weekend figures and this and that. Also partly because I believe that I'm at a stage in my life and my career where those numbers are not going to affect the next film I make. They say that in this business, you're only as good as the last film you make. But that's not entirely true. You see, you are talented. Everybody fails. Everybody, you miss a ball at times. That's okay. But my whole thing is that as long as I'm focused and doing my best while making the film, then it's out there. Coming back to the current situation and scenario, yes, I am very, very anxious. I have never been this anxious about a release because when we announced the release, the COVID cases in Maharashtra were a few hundred. Today, they've crossed 17,000.
Yeah.
Night lockdowns have been announced in Thana, in Nagpur, and Pune places, and Pune. So these are prime pockets. Mumbai Saga is a Maharashtra-centric film. So my business is going to get hit because my 9 o'clock show, 10 o'clock show, late night shows, and especially the weekends, is when people step out only in the night to watch the movie.
Absolutely.
So, yes, I'm very anxious about that. I just saw the news. Indore and Bhopal have been, night curfew has been, So yes, it will take a toll. But having said that, releasing the film in the theaters at this time, see, somebody had to come.
Yeah.
Big film has to come. Okay, even Rohit Shetty has now gone and announced his film. It's very brave because even Rohit can't say whether what will happen to the cases from here.
Yeah.
Is the graph going to go up or it's going to go down? Nobody can predict that. But the point is, I'm also relying on what I feel is my product, that I know we made a good film. Word of mouth will carry. People have been starved. They haven't seen a film. घर बैठ के सब थक भी गए हैं. As long as protocol is followed, precautions are taken, people will want to go back and see. And I'm not looking at numbers. I don't want to do 100 crores. Now, like I said, that the film has been made in a conservative budget. It's by conservative, I don't mean small. Okay,
fair enough.
Conservative budget. Yeah, but at the same time, it is not a flamboyant budget. I never do that.
Yeah.
And the revenues have already come from non-theatrical sources. So it is a calculated risk.
I think you're among the very few people from the industry who actually tweet what comes right at the time, and you don't put too much thought into it, right?
Absolutely.
And of course, you've been trolled numerous times to know that there are consequences when you are this person. Like, for example, the last time when you wrote something, right? Like the entire thing became about, and you actually issued an apology saying that that's not what I meant.
No. I didn't issue an apology regarding that. My apology was very clear that I don't want, I never want to be abusive on my time.
Correct. Like, exactly.
Once in my life that, the only time in my life, I don't know what, something would have happened. Something would have really provoked me. I may have had a drink or two extra. But anyway, you see, my whole point on Twitter is I'm not on Twitter pretending to be somebody I'm not. I don't want to send out an image. Oh, no, you know what? मैं ऐसा हूँ या मैं वैसा हूँ. नहीं, मैं जैसा हूँ मैं वैसा हूँ. And that's it. I don't want to, and I know that I have a lot of followers who look up to me, who like the recommendations I give, who like, when I talk about books to read or movies to watch, shows to watch, or share my experiences. That's what it is there for. Yeah. In any case, I don't really take a political stand. In this day and age, let me put it this way. This is something what we say behind closed doors. Because when you have a lot to lose, then you shut your mouth. It's as simple as that. So mine is simple. I am still making movies. I want to continue making my movies. I want the movies to get the widest possible release without any hindrances or, problems. I'm also a family man. I have my children. I have my wife. We love to travel. We like to live the good. I like to provide the good life to my family. So why would I take any unnecessary tension, boss? It's as simple as that, but at the same time, I will not just shut up and not be the person that I am. I will not go and provoke anybody. There's a lot of times I get provoked, but I don't retaliate. I don't respond because it's not worth it. Not in the current scenario, in the current times that we're living in. It's not worth it. Yeah.
So in the current times, last year, when we lost some very talented actors, especially Sushant, a barrage of hate coming towards the industry, and a lot of actors actually, decided that we will speak up.
I was personally very, very, very hurt and upset in that phase about everything that was happening.
Yeah.
Everything was wrong. Of course, we know that, the news channels ridiculously ballistic. They went and suddenly the film industry became a villain. How does the industry become a villain in all of this? Yeah. When the same industry has given a platform to Sushant, God bless his soul, he's a wonderful actor, great guy. But he was a complete outsider, no? So that same industry also accepted him with open arms, gave him the fame, the recognition, the success, the money. So over there, the industry is to be given no credit. कि वहाँ Bollywood अच्छी नहीं है, यहाँ Bollywood खराब है. So I thought it is very unfair. It was very uncalled for. And what did we end up achieving from it at the end of the day? वो बच्चा चला गया, उसका नाम ही खराब कर दिया ना और ज़्यादा. जो all the muck that happened, you see, it stuck to him only, no? He didn't deserve that.
But if you truly had to suggest few things as a part of the industry, someone who directs, makes content, what would you hope changes for the better?
You see, even somebody like, and I'm quoting Martin Scorsese here, who's just recently come out and said the same thing. He said, since when did movies become content? Movies are movies. They are films. They are a experience that you go and you enjoy. The content is the wrong word. Content is for OTT. So my take is this only, that, I mean, why are we shying away from going back to our roots? I know this is being a little political, but it deeply saddens me when the word secular is considered bad. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's not acceptable to me. The same way, why has the word mass become bad? We have started associating, अरे यार mass ही entertainer है, तो वही तो चाहिए ना यार, masses को तो entertain करना है.
I'll just add here, I think I also feel like when they say that, it's also about films that are completely ridiculous. Not all of them.
Yes, I agree with you.
You know what I'm saying? There are, in the name of mass, some really ridiculous films have also been made.
Yes, but then they work, no? अब जिसने बनाया उसको तो लगता है मैंने शोले बनाई. और जब वो टाइप की
true.
हाँ, और वो टाइप की पिक्चर जब चल जाती है, so that filmmaker thinks it's a slap on everybody's face. I know even junk thrives. और बिकता तो वड़ा पाव भी है ना, वड़ा पाव सबसे ज्यादा बिकता है. How healthy is it? If I'm making an entertainer which the masses and classes, see, in my case, I'm probably an exception to the rule, because right from Aatish, and then when the multiplexes started, okay, which was around when Kante released. As a matter of fact, Kante released in Fame Ad Labs, which was Bombay's first 5-screen multiplex. There was the premiere of Kante over there. My films down the years have appealed to the multiplex audience as well as the single screen audiences.
Your actors told you about how you wanted everything in that room to be broken.
When I sat with my production designer, I said, give me everything that's breakable. So even the glass, partitions between urinals, the doors, the wash basins, the glasses, the mirrors. I said the works. Let's just go all out. But at the same time, let it be real. Let it not be stupid. That is something we were very particular about.
Your supposed fallout with Sanjay Dutt, and how that is why you all could not reunite, and because apparently he was told not to work with you. You know what I found that this piece of information so surprising is because people who worked with you have always and eventually wanted to work with you again. So I want to know, what are the few things that you feel people have misunderstood about you? And yeah, I want to know, because that's so surprising for me.
See, the thing is that I'm not a very social person from the industry perspective. I don't go and hang out and I never have. So the industry parties or bars frequented by industry guys or this and that, कि नहीं यार ये social networking जो अभी हो गया पिछले 10 साल में. So I've never been that person. I don't enjoy it. At the same time, my friends, my colleagues, they know that I'm a wonderful host. I love calling them home. I love feeding them. I love hanging out with them.
So I have heard.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely that's my big passion. So I'd rather do that. So a lot of times, that is taken for कि हाँ यार ये तो बड़ा आदमी है, वो तो अपना ही sticks to himself and this. That it's not that. I do it because I don't do it because I don't enjoy it. At that point of time, I was very hurt. And see, with Sanju and me, it's not just a professional relationship. Yeah, I mean, Sanju is somebody I have known since 1988, 89.
Yeah.
I did my first film and I was all of 22 years old, but I did it because he supported me.
Right.
And he supported me, and I made Aatish. And after that, we've had this wonderful relationship. He's been a brother to me. He's always been an elder brother to me. Huh? So and so then when at that phase, those things happened, I was very upset about it, because there is not a single point that anybody can say, yaar, इस वजह से मैंने गलत क्या किया है? There was no reasoning given to that. So there were people involved who probably were not too happy, with my success or whatever. Also, at that point of time when that did happen, of course, it hurt a lot. But then you get over it, yeah.
When you draw the line, like, you're like, I can't go beyond this. Like, this is what will never do. Or do you have nothing like that?
No, it's a very interesting question. Very, very interesting question. And let me answer it very simply. So whether Karishma Kapoor in Aatish, we'd never seen her like that before. Okay, the way we had dressed her up. Kajol in Hamesha. Shilpa Shetty in Jung, Aila Re. Every time she meets me, she tells me, she's saying, you changed my entire look and style. and all that. A Malaika and Isha Kopikar in Kante, Samira Reddy in Musafir, Koina Mitra in Musafir, Lara, and the later heroines as well, right up to Yami. Even if I try, they can never be. I wouldn't know how to frame them in a way that is non-graceful. It's the way I have always projected. Okay, they have all looked hot, but they have never looked sleazy. So so the vulgar it's again a very thin line between vulgarity and eroticism.
Correct.
And that is a line that should never be crossed, and I've never crossed it. But having said that, only in one film, which was Shootout at Wadala, is where we had two very hot scenes and we had profanity. And that is something till today I regret. It should not have been there. It actually would have taken away a part of my audience. And why would I see, I live in a house. Now my daughter is 8 years old, but I have two goddaughters, my nieces, who are now 27 and 29, but they've been with me since they were 12 and 14. Okay. Why would I want to play a film which I have to pause when they come into the room? It's as simple as that. Or if my mother, God bless her soul, she's not around. But so that is the only thing I'm very clear about, that is a line not to be crossed. I really admire it. If you look at all our yesteryear's superstars, have never been used on screen. Shah Rukh Khan, Amir Khan, Salman Khan have never abused on screen. Salman has never been kissed on screen.
With the regulations coming in for OTT, because you spoke about, you drawing lines for yourself, which is self-regulation in its own way. What do you think about the fact that now internet and social media, everything will have its rules, and which is being controlled, by the information of customers?
I am not at all happy with that. You please don't choke us. At the same time, yes, we also have a responsibility towards our country, our people, their sentiments, the various religions. You cannot please everybody, but we're not intentionally trying to harm anybody. So I certainly feel that. And secondly, I also feel that the World Wide Web, the internet, is something that cannot be controlled. It cannot be. You can put your rules and regulations, but whatever has to come out there will come out there.
Why aren't you making something with some amazing, fantastic, kick-ass women and their world as well? Please do it. I think it'd be so much fun.
As a matter of fact, I am.
You are?
And it will be announced shortly, but I'm doing something very, very exciting. But again, it actually deals with it's the story of a woman in Bombay who created and controlled the biggest narco empire.
Thank you so much once again. It was lovely chatting.
Thank you. Thank you. It's a pleasure.